Okay, welcome, wicked smart listeners. This is another solo cast. Yup, you got to deal with me today. And I wanted to do this because here we are, we're in January, and this is a perfect time for you, if you haven't already, to sort of take a look forward in a lot of senses. You personally, you perhaps working with someone, whether it's us or someone else, and how does what you want to do, whether it's with us or someone else, how does that fit into the economy right now? So these are all super important things to address. So I appreciate you being a wicked smart listener. I appreciate you sharing this, especially this episode, with others, so you can encourage, you can give hope, you can give confidence to others that can and should be in the real estate world, and specifically in the terms niche unbiased, right? All right. About 2 months ago, I did a private mastermind call with my high six associates. We do that every single month. If you're interested in learning more about associates, you know by now, you can just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/apply, or you can set up a private strategy call. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/schedule podcast. That's it. smartrealestatecoach.com/schedule podcast. So write that down. And if there's anything in this that you want to talk about, I'm going to give you, because it's January, I'm going to give you all the links that you possibly could empower yourself with or immerse yourself in, so you can have an amazing 25. Now, here's a couple of things. In the mastermind call, I did two things, and I want to start with you the same way. Number one, here we are in January, do an honest gut check. You've heard me do this before with you. Are you where you thought you'd be when you talked about your goals last year with your coworkers, with your wife, with your kids, whoever, with your partners? Are you where you thought you'd be when you talked about that in January of 2025? Now, please don't beat yourself up. There's no wrong answer. If you are, congrats, high five. If you're not, why? Why are you not there? Again, don't beat yourself up. It's to explore and find out why, and find out what were the roadblocks, how can we break through them, who are the people we didn't connect with that we could perhaps connect with, because proximity really, really matters. Think about that, okay? And then I want you to think about sort of weighing on or thinking about and immersing yourself in a word or two for 2025. On the high six call, I just picked 4 words and I asked them all to pick one. You can pick a completely different word. I asked them just because I wanted to focus that day and going forward as they planned into 2025, because we planned for 25 back in October. So again, this is I hope a regroup for you, and if not, a fresh start for so many people. So here are the words I gave them in no particular order. I gave them encouraged, excited, energized, and extraordinary. Those are the words I gave them. And so what I want to talk to you today about, besides that kind of prelude, is I want to talk to you about return on investment. I want to talk to you about return on experience. And I want to talk to you about the timing of creative real estate right now in this economy. I think it's super important. So let's go with return on investment first. And here's why. There's a bunch of reasons why I want to do this and why I did it with them. One, many people focus on the cost, because I talk to people weekly, I talk to people monthly, as does my son-in-law and partner, Zach. And all we hear is, well, what's the cost of this? And what's the cost of that? Or I spent money on a coaching program. Look, the cost of coaching, or the cost of a course, or the cost of a seminar, or the cost of a virtual assistant, or the cost of a CRM, I could keep going. It doesn't matter. How about what is the return on that potentially? And then my question then goes to, and I encourage you to write all these down, and I'll help you with this if you're coming into our Wicked Smart community. Do you know how many deals you need to get to, say, 3 times or 5 times return on investment, 3 or 5x? So how would you figure that? Let me give you some metrics, right? Because what sparked this is one of our chairman members, Rick Abbiati, is also a certified coach, and you guys could be working with him. He said to me in the room with a bunch of people, actually, not just to me, I'm about 5 or 6 times return now. Now, this was about 6 months ago as of this recording. So he could be higher. He could be 10 times return. Do you personally know how many deals you need to get to 3 or 5 times return? So you take your cost to start up, whether it's, I don't like to call what we do a program, quite frankly, it's an experience, but whether it's with us or someone else, what's the cost to stop? What's the cost per month to run? And then I encourage you to times it by 12. You go, 12, I can't do a deal until 12 months. I don't know. I don't know you. So what I want you to do is be conservative and say, all right, My cost to start is X. My cost to maintain and run my small little business, my solopreneur business, or if you have an existing business, you know the numbers. And then how many in our world, 3 payday deals do you need to nail that? Now, some of you might be new and you go, well, what the heck, 3 paydays? Well, if you're not familiar with the word 3 paydays that we trademarked in the technique, please go to smartrealestatecoach.com/PCMC. PCMC, because that's a free master's class. And if you haven't gone through that, every single one of you can and should go through that. It's like 55 minutes tops. It might be 45. It's with me and it's free. There's zero reason for you not to go. So write that down, smartrealestatecoach.com/PCMC. Okay. Now, having said that, you know what it is, 3 paydays. Let's use an average of, I'm going to be conservative and disclosure. I don't know where you are on your averages. Our community runs 45,000 to 350,000, all 3 paydays profit, right? Gross profit before expenses. So our family company runs closer to 75, 78, but let's say 75. So, okay, so there's your 2 metrics. You figure out where your median price range is. And if you want to use ours, use 75. It's conservative. And then I would strongly suggest that you email support@smartrealestatecoach.com and you get a copy of the 3-year, $1 million plan. Now, big disclosure here for my attorney friends. The 3-year, $1 million plan is not a PDF that says, hey, this is your guarantee. No, the 3-year, $1 million plan says, here are some metrics that perhaps maybe if you got after it and you were disciplined and diligent and you did everything we tell you to do, you could get to, or you could go faster or slower. People have gone faster and many people have gone slower. Okay. It's just a guide. It's more metrics. So you could say, oh, that's much too aggressive. I don't have that time. Or I can do that. I can crush that like others have. Okay. So ask them for the 3-year, $1 million plan. Tell them I said you could get it from the January podcast episode, solo cast with me. All right. All right. Now, I'd encourage you to do this. I can give you some stats real quick, but I encourage you to dig in a little bit. I had, when I was on the mastermind call, the High Six, I had them go in breakouts and actually look at this and research this and brainstorm this. What it would take to buy a conventional business. Now, I use the example of franchising just because there's some really good stats out there on that, right? Really good stats. So you can find that online, ChatGPT or Google it, whatever you want to do. But buying a conventional business, whether you're an individual or whether you're an equity group, right? There's an equity groups out there, in my opinion, look for like 5 to 10 times return in about 5 years. Like I'm just giving you generalities. But so it's going to take them 5 years to get that. I'm throwing these out on purpose so you can see the comparison here is ridiculous with the amount of overhead it takes to run our business. By the way, if you're new to that, it's going to take you $500 to $1,000 a month at first to get yourself up and running. If you hire a VA, it can be even less. When I started, I had no money. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I had no credit. So I had to start with me only doing dials. After my first deal, then I got a VA and then the rest is history. So let's go further. I looked up some stats for franchises. Now, this is, to me, is mind-boggling when you compare what you can do with us. Keep in mind, when I say these stats, when I said the average paydays for us is 45,000 to 350,000, how many of those do you have to do? When I just told you the overhead's 500 to 1,000 a month, call it 1,000. You won't even hit that, but call it 1,000. So for 12 grand a year to run a business that could potentially get you to 6 to 12 deals a year, you do the math. It's ridiculous. Now let me pivot to franchises. It said, you can Google these, you can play around with this. It said within the first few years, it said 2 to 10 that a franchise should be profitable. This was very generic. And then it said after 10 years, it should be significant. So I dug deeper on that thread that I Googled. It said, if you're open 2 to 10 years, you should have profit of about 130,000. I wanted to throw up. Like, I don't want to demean or water that down, guys. If you have a salary of 50, 60, 80, 100 grand, I'm saying I wanted to throw up relative to what we can do in the terms niche. That's 2 deals for most of you. For some of you, like Rick has done most of his deals 100K plus in New Hampshire. So that could be 1 deal for you. Judy recently did a deal in Maine, we're working on it still, that has a profit potential of $172,000. And that's if we just go to term. I could keep going the stories, but that's why I say 130 grand after 2 to 10 years. Come on. And then the survey, just so you know, this isn't a wimpy survey. The survey surveyed 35,000 owners across 375 different franchise brands. This is not a small study. And then it went on to say, after 10 years, hey, congrats. your profit should be 100. They give you exact averages, 177,240. 177,240, the same amount, almost to the penny, within $5,000 that Judy did one deal in Maine, if that goes through. Crazy, guys. So I can stop there, but just think about the terms niche, the return on investment potential. I don't know you yet, but I'll work with you and get yours honed in. And then stop worrying about the cost. If you know the potential is that high, then we can find the how we can get there. Don't worry about the cost. You can get a partner. You can get credit eventually. I can show you how to do that. I built up from credit in the toilet to credit again, right? Let me make a statement here before we go on return on experience, which is my second thing I want to do out of 3. It is super important as we embark on 2025 that we remind ourselves, it's a good reminder for all of us, that our income, so these numbers I'm throwing out at you, our income will not exceed our skill set, our ability, our mindset, and our systems sort of space. I just described to you our genius model. Mindset, skill set, and systems. Well, if you're not improving those 3 areas, your income can't be dragged up. I encourage you, I hope you're on YouTube watching this. So here's your income. Here's you, your skill set, your abilities. If this doesn't grow, this will not get dragged. I'm sorry to say, but I don't want to bum you out. But if this doesn't grow and you happen to have a couple luck, you luck out, this income goes up, it's going to settle back down. It's almost like a glass that you will not go above that. So we've got to focus on improving our skill set, our mindset, and our systems. And whether you do that with us and our community, the Wicked Smart community, or someone else, please do it with someone, because someone has already done what you want to do. And that is a very important gut check for every single person. Now let's talk about return on experience.
Okay, who wants to be the next apprentice? Pretty interesting, guys. We started this apprentice program back as a July 4th, 2024 promo. That's where it started. And it was so incredibly effective. We were just going to run it for the summer. It was so effective immediately. We kept it. It's in place now. And what is it? It allows you to get into the community, the Wicked Smart community, for less dollars than the QLS home study course sells for right now on our site. In fact, when you go to smartrealestatecoach.com/apprentice-pod, apprentice-pod, when you go there, you're going to see that as an apprentice, you're going to get over $13,000 worth of coaching, the possibility for you to touch base with us if you want to 4 or 5 times a week, and it doesn't exist anywhere out there, frankly. That's why we did it. We did it for 2 reasons. One, no one is giving you the support out there. We keep hearing feedback, which is how this was born, that other educators are not giving support. They're just selling stuff. So it doesn't exist anywhere, and nowhere in the real estate education or coaching space. And we want to help you do one thing, deals. So we've wrapped the support mechanism around this. We've allowed you to get into a Slack community with the other associates who previously were protected in Slack, and now you get to jump in there and experience that for 12 weeks. You also get to come to the In the Trenches Bootcamp, which is private. It's a chance to hang out with the family team and one of the coaches for 2.25 days in our conference room, roll up our sleeves, get calls done, get deals done. If you come with leads, you leave with deals. Absolutely incredible. I could go on and on. Go to the website right now. Check out more information about the apprentice, and I'm going to give you the In the Trenches Bootcamp site, because you don't have to become an apprentice. It just happens to be free with apprentice and associate. So 2 links I'm going to give you, super important. smartrealestatecoach.com/ITTB-pod. That's going to give you some information about the bootcamp. If you want to buy a ticket to the bootcamp, it's more expensive, but you can. Just to come check us out. About 1 or 2 people every time we run it do just that. Or become an apprentice, and it's for free. smartrealestatecoach.com/apprentice-pod.
Is there a price tag you could possibly put on the return for experience like you can on the return on investment? Because you can say, here's my overhead, here's my cost. I don't think so. Our program is an experience, not a program. The entire Wicked Smart community is an experience. It's not about doing a deal. You're going to see when you dip your left toe in the water with us, if you decide to do that, it's an experience, period. And those could be, you came to a In the Trenches Bootcamp in the office here with 15 people only, and you're privately with us. Like, that's an experience, guys. And we have another one coming up January 22nd, for example. Could be if you're high six and you're in the mastermind calls with me and we bring in private people, we bring in my dream team, we bring in some amazing people if you'd be exposed to that, frankly, you wouldn't be exposed to elsewhere. That's an experience. You have a conversation at our upcoming QLS Live event in Boston in October, off to the side, not even part of the event. And you go, man, that was amazing. I got a new contact. I got a new aha. I got a new nugget. That's an experience. As a result of talking to, Judy, I learned about her main deal, and I've got the conference to go talk to those type people. I could go on and on. The fact is, you can't put a price tag on return on experience. And so I want you to factor that in your decision in your new year here. And by the way, I mentioned the boot camp. Let me tell you how to learn more about that. First of all, the boot camp in the office here is private. It's with myself. Usually I'm here. Zach, my partner and son-in-law, Nick, my son, and one of the coaches, usually Rick. That's 4 people to 10 or 15 of you wicked smart community members that come into that private conference room. I'm pointing in the window here because it's a small conference room. You see how we operate. You see us do live calls. You see us structure deals. You see us make appointments. And guess who those are being done for? The 10 or 15 in the room. They leave with deals. Really important you know that. That's free with the apprentice level and every associate level. So let me give you some links there, actually. Then I'll go on to my last, which is super important, timing in this market, my last point. You can learn more about Apprentice. Just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/apprentice-pod, P-O-D. That's the Apprentice. Because if you get in the Apprentice, a lot of stuff for free. In fact, you get like $13,000 worth of stuff for free. It's not free. It's like $1,000. Crazy. Nothing in the market like it. So if you do nothing else today, check out smartrealestatecoach.com/apprentice-pod. Now, if you go, hey, Chris, I don't want to be sold. I'm never selling, by the way, guys. We're going. You can come with us if you want. But if that's facetiously your attitude, then buy a ticket and come to the boot camp. You can buy a ticket. You don't have to be part of the levels. It's just free with the levels. If you want to buy a ticket, just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/ITTB-pod, P-O-D. By the way, those of you that want to see what it's all about, even if you're joining Apprentice, go to the same link, smartrealestatecoach.com/ITTB-pod, and you'll get to see what it's about. You get to hear from others just like you that came here and were blown away. You'll get to hear from the likes of Dave, and I'm thinking people, Jeff, Brian from Massachusetts. These people were experienced real estate people, came to the boot camp. Instead of having blockers up and blinders on, they came, they listened. After day 2, we do a quarter day. So it's like 2.25 days. They said something to the effect of, wow. One said, I'm humbled. I've been at this 20-something years. I didn't know this was possible. One said, oh my God, this is amazing breakthrough for me. I thought I was stuck in this box of my own deals. I could go on and on. They're on that screen. Go check them out. I'm not going to talk for them. All right. Let's go on here. Last thing I want to talk about was timing in the market. Why do I say that? And I have a book that I suggest you read too. Even if you read the intro, you'd get what I'm saying here. Technology in industries in general change, right? Just, things progress and people get left behind. Sometimes people get left behind. So for example, I spoke to a prospect last week. He's actually texted me this morning as early as 5:15 a.m. Yes, I text and I talk to people in our community early. I love that. He's texted me and said, Chris, I have been worked out of my industry. He was a photographer. I won't tell you where or his name. It's not important, but you are going to see him in our community. He's exploring it right now. That's an industry that kind of weaned him out. He was making really good money, and now he can make a living, and he doesn't want to just make a living. Big box stores in my area, me personally, Bed Bath & Beyond. I heard they come out of bankruptcy and got bought by the last I saw Container Store. But as of a week ago, I didn't know that, and they went out of business locally, and a bunch of people lost their job, right? Banana Republic closed near us recently. That was an eye-opener. A whole bunch of Walgreens are closing and some CVS. Okay, a lot of that stuff's moving online, right? Or AI is affecting it. Automation's affecting it. I could go on and on. You get my point. Technologies and industries change. Guess what? Creative real estate on your terms, has been built, and our trademark systems internally is a niche within that, a microcosm within that has been built to survive and to thrive always. I shouldn't even use the word survive, to thrive always. So you learn it. You have a skill set literally for life. I can't take it from you. Nobody can take it from you. You can run across a boat for sale and do it on terms. You can run across a house. You can run across a building. You can run across a condo. You can run across a car. It doesn't matter. It's a skill set that you learned for life, and it's been around for hundreds of years. Newsflash. So let me hone this in. Pre-COVID, we did phenomenally well. During COVID, we did phenomenally well. Post-COVID, we did phenomenally well. Interest rates went down, we did well. Interest rates went up, we did well. Real estate is there's one constant. It constantly changes. If we know that, why not learn creative real estate on your terms, and be able to not only pivot in all markets, but be excited about pivoting. My wife still to this day says, something will come on the news. Interest rates are going to go down again. The Fed's go, how's that going to affect you? And I always say, I can't wait. Interest rates went up. So-and-so laid off people. Amazon did this. Well, how's it going to affect you? I say, I'm excited. Because as things change, people need people like us who know how to solve problems in an uncertain market. Is the market ever going to be certain forever? No. Is real estate going to stop changing? No. Therefore, your best home in this uncertain market is always going to be creative real estate. Yes, I'm biased, but I said at the beginning, but it's a fact, guys. Pick up this book, The Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleyman. I'm probably butchering the name, but it's Mustafa, M-U-S-T-A-F-A, Suleyman, S-U-L-E-Y, man, M-A-N. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Okay. So guys, I hope there's a nugget or two out of the ROI, the ROE, and the timing in the market. I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, chris@smartrealestatecoach.com. Yes, I will check the email, myself and my assistant, and we will answer you. I want to know what you thought. I want to know what the one nugget was. I want to know if you'd like to get a strategy call. You can do that on your own. I gave you the link earlier. And I'd like you to be empowered. I'd like you to have hope. I'd like you to have confidence that 2025 can and should be your year. I wasn't beating on you earlier when I said, are you where you thought you'd be? I want you to think about December of 25 now. It's the time to think about it, guys. December of 25 and say, would it be really cool? Like, let's visualize this. Would it be really cool if you go in December of 25, close your eyes for a second and think about this. You're at your house or office, wherever your happy place is, if it's somewhere else, and you're prior to the Christmas holiday, and you think back and you go, wow, that was so cool. I'm so glad I did that. And as a result, I'm going to have the most amazing holiday season with my family. I've given them so much as a result of my efforts this year. And as a result, I can relax and enjoy it. Wouldn't that be cool? You could fill in that statement. I encourage you to write that down and read it every day, by the way. Side note, another training we do. But wouldn't that be cool? All right. I could go on here, guys. That does wrap up my solo cast officially. I would love to meet you at the upcoming boot camp or the next one after that. And I would love you to explore the In the Trenches Bootcamp page so you know what that's all about, as well as the Apprentice page. If you're more aggressive and you want to get after it, go apply for associate. Learn what that's all about. smartrealestatecoach.com/apply. If you go on our website, as of the time of this filming, a new page is being done because I just redid some videos, nothing formal, but it walks you through all the levels of associate. You hear us talk about all the time. Why not go look at what it is? So check that on the website. It's either going to be under Become an Associate or Associate, but you'll find it. If you have questions, send an email to support@smartrealestatecoach.com. Guys, a reminder, please rate this podcast. I would really appreciate it, and share it with all of your closest contacts, your business partners, etc. And let's together crush it in 2025, regardless of anything the market can throw at us. Make it a great week.
Hey guys, are you simply sick of juggling a dozen different software tools for your real estate business? I know I was, and I know I'm not a tech person, so it was frustrating. A subscription for this, you got a subscription for that, and they don't even work together out of the box. That's very frustrating, especially in the real estate world where your best time spent is going to be out in the field or on the phone with sellers. And now you're stuck hiring a tech guru just to make all that sync up. So let's ditch the chaos and let REI Black Book handle everything. Automate your lead follow-up, track every deal, analyze things quickly for you, make offers all in one platform. In fact, with the Wicked Smart platform, we now have access, if you're in the Wicked Smart community, to all the other associates' properties. Can you imagine that? So you're brand new in the business perhaps, and your seller looks on your website and sees 20, 30, 40 properties, instant credibility. So you're going to get everything on REI Black Book, from our custom workflows for lead generation all the way to closing. It has it covered. Try it today for just $1, guys. Visit smartrealestatecoach.com/REIBB-DD. smartrealestatecoach.com/REI, B as in boy, hyphen, D as in dog, D as in dog.
Thanks for listening to the Smart Real Estate Coach podcast. If you're ready to invest in yourself and take your investing to the next level, check out our 90-day Jumpstart program by going to smartrealestatecoach.com/jump. That's smartrealestatecoach.com/jump, because now is the time to act boldly in this unprecedented market shift.